Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Learning and Labor podcast. My name is Nico. I use he, him pronouns. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about where the podcast is at, where I'm at personally, and where things are going to be going in the future. So overall, I'm really happy with where the podcast is at. I hope it's been helpful to people. I have a goal for this podcast to be a resource for organizers, for people involved in politics, to use to, learn from and apply to in their work. And I, also just want to be making entertaining stuff that people like. But I think that that's, always been in the back of my mind whenever making these episodes. So I am personally happy with where we're at. Honestly, looking back, I think I expected to have made more episodes by now. But the reason I haven't been is just because it's taken a lot of work to put together the episodes I have made. And, sometimes that time commitment is necessary to make it to the quality I would like. And I don't regret the fact that there's probably only 9 or 10 episodes out right now because I think that otherwise the quality would have been a lot lower, or I would have stressed myself out, worked too hard, and exhausted myself from making them. So with that, just to start things off on this episode, I am happy with what I've been able to do so far. We're going to continue to do very similar kind of stuff in the podcast, continue making stuff, and hopefully we'll keep getting better. But there is some personal stuff that is going on that is impacting all of this and is the reason why I'm making this episode. Specifically, I have just graduated from the University of Illinois. This is upside down. And I got my bachelor's in political science, and I'm no longer going to be living in Champaign-Urbana. So what that means is that I won't have access to the archives here locally. I'll obviously not physically be here anymore and won't have the same kind of connections that I do now. And, that's prompted me to think a little bit about what focus I want this podcast to have. I do still want to continue to cover things that are related to the University of Illinois. There's still plenty of ideas that I have that I think I'll be able to do no matter where I'm at. But that is, a limiting factor, the fact that I won't be here anymore. So, I want to expand my focus. I'm still going to be in the Midwest. I still want to talk about Illinois and the Midwest and universities and these kind of things. But I probably wanted to branch out a little bit more to other stuff. So I wanted to get feedback from everyone about what kind of scope and content that the podcast should be talking about, and what people are interested in hearing, what people aren't interested in hearing. And specifically, I made this audience feedback form that I would really appreciate if you all could fill out, which gives an opportunity to share a little bit of details of what you think. There's some basic questions about, how much you've listened so far, what you like and don't like, which you can also please use as an opportunity to say anything that you think is relevant, not just relating to the topics of the podcast. So, for example, I'm bringing in more guests recently to be on the podcast, and I've been really enjoying that. But I want to, find out if that's something you like, if there's specific types of guests or people that you want to hear more from on the podcast. I would love to hear that kind of thing as well. Any kind of criticisms you have of the quality of the audio, of the video, of anything related to the podcast, I would love to hear that. And, what you do like as well. So just that generally kind of big picture stuff is important here too. It's not just about the fact that I'm moving away and might be covering stuff outside of the University of Illinois. But yeah, I do have an opportunity to give a more specific feedback relating to the scope of the podcast, including, whether or not it will include universities outside of Illinois, include content outside of universities and Illinois and the Midwest, that kind of thing. And I just wanted to let you all know about this, to make this a little bonus episode kind of explaining where things are at right now and give you all opportunity to give feedback. Any detailed or lack of detail feedback is very much appreciated. And I, am just so grateful to have, every single person listening to this, tuning in and listening to the podcast. So I just want to say thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Learning and Labor. Station WILL has carried a special program this week giving information about the University of Illinois. If you have been a listener to these broadcasts, you have heard more or less about what the university does, how it does it, and what it hopes to do. Thank you, Dr. Willard.